All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Exposure Runs the Podcast. Today's guest, after 33 seasons, recently retired from Farragut Academy with a career record of 541 wins to go with 324 not wins. Is an actual graduate of Farragut, class of 1978. That's true?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Was a math teacher while at Farragut. That's true.
Yes.
Math happens to be by far my worst subject. So I just want to go on record saying that. I hated math in school. It's reported that you met KG while running a SAT prep course at one of Nike's national camps. Is that true?
Well, like I said, I was instructor in the prep class. It was the Nike Academic All-American Camp. It had been in existence for a minute. They needed a math teacher. They were short a math teacher. They asked me to come in. Forrest Harris is the one who started it. He's out of Chicago. Great guy. They asked me to come in and teach some math. So I said, hey, no problem.
Why not?
I can do that.
I can do the math.
Yeah, I can do that.
I can do math. Okay. He has coached 21 All-City players, 11 All-State players, 3 McDonald's All-Americans. 2 of them we know fondly, Kevin KG Garnett, Ronnie Fields, who has been a guest on the show, and Michael Dunigan. I apologize, Mr. Dunigan. And, you know, you have, well, not just those 3 and not just those 11 and not just those 21 players that were All-State and All-City. You have coached quite a slew of players throughout your career, 33-year career, I might add. We'd like to welcome Coach William Wolf Nelson to the show.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on the show, sir. I really appreciate it. We've been trying to get you on the show. I won't even say through back channels. Like we mentioned to Ronnie when we had him up here. Coach Marlon London, who's a friend of ours, who's good friends with Ronnie, and then we saw you. We were at the city playoff games when they gave you your retirement jacket, and then we just happened to bump into you on Saturday. Okay, and it was like, Bo was like, "There we go, right there. Ask him." I'm like, "Okay." Well, and so we just asked you, and here we are.
You know what? That was the retirement jacket which I'm wearing now. That was something that was really, it knocked me off my feet. It was so funny. I came in and they said, well, we want you there, you know, and they don't know what it's going to be about you. And they said, we're going to honor you, you know, we're going to send you off right. So I said, okay, well, I'll be there, you know. And they asked me if Garnett can be there. I said, well, I don't think Kevin's going to be there because it's Super Bowl weekend, and you know they're into that betting stuff, and they're in Vegas. Yes. So I know where he is, okay? So they said, well, can he do a video?
A video tribute.
I said, that's not a problem. You know, he could do that, but he ain't going to be here, you know. So he did a beautiful job. We got sending the tribute.
It was very nice. It was very nice.
And they had me all the way. They brought me in, and everything was pretty good. You know, they gave me a plaque.
It was nice.
They gave me a basketball. And then they had this little suitcase. I said, "What them a pair of Jordans? You know how they had the Jordans and they sell them exclusives." I said, "They don't even know my size. You know what they doing?" And when they opened that box up, I said,
"Yeah, that's a nice jacket."
Oh my God! Yeah. Then they opened the inside of it up, and I looked, and they had everything was a tribute. You know, I said, "Y'all got my resume all on the front, back, inside of the jacket." I said, "Man, that is one beautiful jacket." You know, so I said, I wear the special occasion. I figured I was coming on y'all show, so
we appreciate it.
I'll break it out.
Definitely appreciate that.
I said, I'll break it out for the occasion.
Why not? So this is your first time wearing the jacket since you got it?
No, I wore it a couple of times because I got something else that's happening at the school.
Okay.
And they asked me then, they said, Coach, because they hadn't been worn out. This is the second time.
Okay, second time.
So the school, I started subbing at the school because they got a new principal.
Okay.
And when he came in, he said, I had just started subbing. I've been subbing for 3 weeks now. I said, I get about, I'm tired of just going to bingo and relaxing, doing things. So I said, I go back, because they kept saying they needed teachers. So they said, what do you want to do? Do you want to sub or do you want to teach? So I can do either one, because everybody's short of math teaching. And they said they even short sub. So I said, I'll sub first to see how, check out the water, see how it is. Right. Then I decide whether or not I want to go ahead on and teach. So I was subbing at another school. So the principal gets his position. He calls me up and said, where you at? I told him I'm at this other school. That was the neighboring school. He said, no, man, you need to come home, man. You need to come home. I said, hold on now, I'm in the classroom right now. I just can't just up and leave.
Right,
you know?
right.
So I said, how about I come in on Friday? I said, yeah, come in on Friday. So I came in wearing my jacket. How y'all doing? Hey, and they looked and said, wow. You know, the man told me, he said, I don't like the way you went out, because when I went out, I've been coaching for 40 years. I was sophomore coach, started in 83.
Right.
I was sophomore assistant coach, and I was the head coach for 33 years. So he said, after all those years, you went out with very little fanfare from the school. They should have honored you way more than they did. That's why the city was like, no, we're going to send you out right. So it brought me in, and it was like, oh, wow. You know, I mean, I had quite a few programs when I was coming through that last year. They was like honoring me and whatnot. You know what? My school, nothing.
Didn't do nothing.
Because you had a principal who was kind of jealous of my celebrity when she came in. She came in her first week and said to people in the principal's meeting, well, I'm the principal at Farragut. And they looked at her and like, who are you? And they asked, well, is Coach still there? How's he doing? This lady gets pissed. For administrators to do stuff like that is kind of weird. So she was there for 13 years trying to undermine the program. And I just continued to do what I was doing. And you know, I said, I'm an alumni, I'm not going nowhere, you know, I'm doing my thing. You know, we having a ball. So as she did what she did, I could do what I do with a smile. And I said, when my time comes and I'm at a point where I'm at full retirement, then I'll let you have this.
You were at the school. Well, first of all, you graduated from the school in '78, which was literally the year after I was born. You spent 40 years there total, 33 coaching as a head coach.
Right.
And then, of course, throughout your time as a coach, you were a math teacher there. Did you ever consider maybe becoming a principal, like going through that process to become the principal?
I did. I started that process.
Okay.
It was weird. I started that process, but my hands were so full because I was really into the school.
Gotcha.
So I was on the local school council, 2 terms, that's 8 years. I'm on the local school council. I'm doing my thing. I was on the leadership team. I was the junior grade lead. I was doing some of everything.
Gotcha.
You know, I was in charge of school testing and their test scores.
Gotcha.
Because as you said, I started out at Nike. I was doing SAT prep. So then I was doing it with my players. And my principal looked, and he would look at his scores, and he always see the basketball players in the top 10. He said, wait a minute, they can't be that smart. Every year he got players up there, and he asked me what I was doing. And I told him, over the summer, I go with Nike and I teach SAT prep. So that's what I do. He said, could you do it with a whole group? I said, that's what I did at Nike. That's when I met Kevin and you know, all those guys, Joe Smith, Stackhouse, all those guys were in my classes and stuff. So I said, I'm sure I can. So he said, okay, I want you to teach it on a Saturday. See how it is. He gave me 30 kids. They averaged 20 plus on the test. But the school only average score like 14. So that's a big jump. So then he asked me, could you do it with some more kids? I said, I can do as many as you need me to do. He said, I want you to take the whole junior class. Not a problem. I wrote up the plan. We did it, and for like maybe 10 years, the scores was going.
Just steadily going up.
So the principal that we had come in, she came in right away. She said, I don't need him to teach test prep. She took me away from teaching test prep. And scores plummeted. They went down. And I'm looking at her like, lady, you biting off your nose to spike your face. You know, you keep trying to say, he ain't that dude. But I hate to tell you, I am. Yeah, I am. But I continue to teach my kids, and because people used to say, how in the heck is all his kids graduating and qualified? Like if I have a good basketball player, if a coach comes and wants to offer him a scholarship, they're qualified. Other people, they struggling with it. Well, they ain't paying attention yet, coach, you know, and we working on some things. They look at my kids' scores and everything, because I monitored their transcripts. I made sure that I kept working on the test score, everything. And I started out with that with Garnett, because Kevin was struggling with the test. And all the way to his last test. I mean, he didn't know he passed the test until he had already committed to play professional basketball. He's waiting on the score. And I had to hit him up like, oh, your scores came in, you know. And he was like, dude, I'm in the middle of this NBA stuff. I'm just letting you know. I mean, you know, it is what it is, you know. But he bumped his head and did that. And then after him was Michael Wright passed the test. Michael Wright went straight to Arizona. You know, so it's like he kept taking the test. And I told him, I said, you know what? You done probably maxed out on your math score. your English score is kind of low. So we're just going to focus on English because they take your top scores
Top scores.
sub-area.
Yep.
So then I said, okay, we're going to work on that. So we worked on that. His English score jumped up 5 points. I called a counselor up when the scores came in. I said, the scores should be in. She said, yeah, we got them today. I said, get Michael Wright's score. I need you to open it up. Tell me what it is. She read them off to me. I said, tell me what his English score is. She told me what his English score was. She said, but he didn't do well overall. Don't matter. Because they're just going to take that and average it out.
Average it out.
So I said, okay, thank you. She said, you don't want the rest of it? I told her it don't matter. I got what I wanted.
Yeah, you got what you needed.
So then Michael came to me and said, did the scores come in? And I said, yeah, they in. He said, so you going to tell me what they are? So I looked at him and started laughing. I said, do you want to call Coach Olsen or do you want me? He said, what did I get? I said, you got like a 22 on your English. And it was low. It was like maybe a 15 or 16. It jumped. You know, and I said, shh. Yeah, you good. Man, hey, lost his mind. I said, he lost his mind. I lost my mind too because I had more confidence that I can really do this for real.
That's pretty dope.
Yep.
How did you get the nickname Wolf? Where did that come from?
That started in 5th grade. When in the 70s we had these little afros, you know, and I had long fingernails. My fingernails, if they grow for a week, they'll grow like claws.
Okay.
And I had the little V right here. When I had my afro, I pulled it back because I had soft hair.
Okay.
So when I picked it, it kept laying flat. So I pulled it back. They said, you like Eddie Wolfgang Monster, like on the Monsters, a TV show.
And it just stuck.
Yeah. See, it stuck because they had to, we call
like
it V to Eddie.
Yeah, the little V.
Yeah, right. We call it, we call it Eddie. So they said, man, and my nails were long. They were long. They just kept growing. And they said, just do it, man. You know, like, I said, hey, it is what it is. And it was funny. That was funny because when I started coaching at Farragut, we had an assembly. And the principal at the time called me to the stage. He didn't realize my real name wasn't Wolf. Everybody called me Wolf because I was from the neighborhood. Right. Farragut. So he said, we'd like to have Mr. Wolf come to the stage. And everybody started laughing. And he said, why is everybody laughing? I said, my government name is Nelson. He said, why everybody call you Wolf? I live on 16th Street. I said, I'm from their neighborhood. I mean, their parents call me Wolf, so they thinking like, that's
why
Wolf.
Not? Right.
Okay, that's Wolf.
Right.
So I had to tell them when they're in my classroom, you had to call me by my government name. Like all my family went to Farragut. My niece actually was in my class, and she called me Uncle whatever. And I said, "Excuse me, I'm at your house." She said, "I gotta call you Mr. Nelson too." And I said, "I'll call you Miss Nelson." They had me laughing. They said, "Is that your real niece?" I said, "That's my brother's daughter." So whatever you want to call it,
there's definitely a need.
Right? Figure it out.
You're considered one of the top coaches in the history of Illinois basketball. And when I say Illinois, I don't just mean Chicago. Obviously, I mean in the entire state. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of high school basketball coaches? Now, obviously, you know Mount Rushmore has 4 presidents on there. You can include yourself. But this is your list. So who's on your Mount Rushmore?
I always run for my Mount Rushmore. I ain't finna get cussed out. But my favorite coaches.
Okay. Who's your favorite?
Well, like I said, obviously Bob Hambrick, Sonny Cox, Dorothy Gators. Got to have a lady up there.
Okay.
She the GOAT. Let me see. Oh wow. I always get to 3 and then I get stuck. I get stuck. I get nervous.
Okay.
But those 3 are definitely up there. Rob Smith got to be up there. Oh, Rob Smith is definitely up there. He's earned that.
He definitely has. Shout out to Coach Smith.
Yeah, he's earned that.
He's been up here twice now.
Yeah, he look. I mean, cause I think about just like people think about basketball players, they think about him in eras and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He basically owned this era. You know. Like I said, back in the day, you know, I would look at, because when I was coming up as a young coach, I always looked at the Bob Hamilton, the Sonny Coxes. You know, Sonny, you know, what Sonny did and whatnot. He had the great teams, the great players. Same thing with Bob Hamrick and whatnot. You know, as far as me really getting into the coaching game and whatnot, and I'm sitting up there watching the Wardell Vaughns, who was the coach at Farragut when I was there, and the Luther Bedfords over at Marshall and whatnot. I looked at them and I gave mad respect because of how they grind, you know, because everybody didn't get all the top talent.
You had to coach what you got.
You got to coach. You got
Everybody in them neighborhoods ain't good.
You had to play the hand you was
Yeah,
dealt.
always.
And see, now with the difference, because some of those guys had pretty much automatic pipelines.
Right.
I mean, they didn't have to do no recruiting. They didn't have to do nothing. They just sit there and stuff.
The kids will come in. Yeah.
And that's what I was always known for, being able to play the hand that I was dealt.
Yep.
They said, wait a minute, man. When that guy came in, he couldn't play basketball. I said, it's called coaching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to take the kid and you have to train him up to be that kid. I've had very few major transfers. Like Kevin might have been the only major transfer anybody could even think of that went to Farragut.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, all the other players I had, all them all-city, all-state players, I had them from the freshman year to the senior year.
And coached them all the way up.
And I remember when they walked in, they couldn't walk and chew bubble gum. But I had to mentor them. I had to calm them down. If they was in the streets, I had to
keep them out the streets.
Get them out the streets.
Yep.
I pull up on the block, and literally the game bangers said,
coach
they go coach.
Yep.
And they literally would go on with your coach, man. Go on with your coach. And I appreciate that.
And that's how it used to be. It's not really like that nowadays.
No.
It's not like that at all.
No.
Of the coaches now, some of the new bloods that's kind of coaching, who, if you know any, who are some of your top 3 or 4 that you know of that's coaching now, some of the newer guys?
I don't really know too many
okay,
guys.
That's fair.
Like I said, I still hang out with the old crowd, the Mike Olivers, the
Shout
Rob
out to Mike.
Smiths,
Shout out
and
to
all
Rob.
of those guys, guys that's actually doing it and doing it at a high level consistently.
Consistently doing that.
And again, I don't.
Lou Adams, shout out to him.
Right, Lou Adams, right. Like I said, Ty
Street, and Street.
Street. Like
Street and Slaughter, both.
For sure.
Definitely.
Because I remember Street when he was coming up.
Yeah.
That was we played. Kevin played the last game against Ty Street. Now, at the time, I didn't know.
The word is Ty was one of them ones when we played.
Look, it was hilarious because I used to always see them come to scouting our games. I said, they watching us, y'all. They watching us. But like I tell people all the time, I said at the time I was young and dumb. I mean, I had the top team and whatnot. I figured, they better come watch us because we them dudes.
Yeah.
And when I played against them, I had not really scouted them at all.
So Ty was the team that you played in
that
y'all lost to.
Yeah, that we lost in the state. Man, Ty took that, like Ronnie jumped up, boom. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Then he come a guy on the other team. I said, whoa, wait a minute now. I ain't used to this now.
Right. Where he come from?
They told me, Wolf, you don't know? That's Ty Street. He's a long jump champion and he's track and field, football, style, basketball. I'm like, wait, why didn't nobody tell me this? What's going on?
Wow.
And then I'm looking at Randall L., Melvin Eli,
yep.
Napoleon Harris. I'm like, hey, man, this ain't no fair. I got
all
the regular
D1
team.
players, yeah.
Hey, right.
They were stacked.
Hey, I said, why I didn't know nothing about this, okay? So we going back and forth. And again, not to mention, I ain't getting no love down there. Them officials, they don't like Chicago. They never like Chicago. I said, man, the stuff they was doing, I said, man, you really had to be prepared. And I wasn't at that time. That was my first time getting downstate. That was the school's first time getting downstate. And it was a lot that I had to learn. I learned a lot from that time.
When you took over from Coach Peppers and when he left in 1990, what do you feel you learned from him when you took over the program?
Oh, was there some silence?
Okay. I guess not much.
No, the thing is this. Everything I learned before Mr. Peppers got in. He took the program over sort of reluctantly because the coach that had been coaching for over 20 years was Wardell Vaughn. And that's basically who I kind of learned from. And when Pep got in, I was actually running the program.
Okay.
But I was just graduating out of college, so the principal didn't give me the position because you had to be a teacher in order to be.
Got you.
So he was a teacher. He was an All-American basketball player. He used to play for Providence St. Mel. He was that dude.
Got you.
He was that dude. So like I say, I sort of stayed in the background back there, but I was doing what I did, you know. Then I had no problem being an assistant for a little while at the varsity level, but I said when he left, we didn't miss a beat because I implemented the offense. I implemented the defense. I basically, I had them on the sophomore level. So I just continued to do what I did. So that's why I moved real fast, because he had a playbook from Providence St. Mel that didn't work for the public league. He had all these lob plays, and I'm looking at his playbook. He literally was the first coach I seen that had a playbook.
Got an actual playbook.
Yeah, and I'm looking at him like, what that? And he said, man, these are the plays that we used to run with. We don't have nobody to catch that lob. So why are you putting a lob play in if we don't have nobody to catch that lob? I was a coach that was a trainer. And that's where these young folks today, that's why they struggle. They don't even know why they struggle. They don't know why they can't, like, in the public league, if you're the last place team in your conference, you drop down to the lower division. And if you're the top 10, you move up. Ferg is the only team in the public league that's been in the red that's never dropped out.
Never dropped out.
We're the only team. It used to be us and Marshall. 3 years ago, Marshall dropped. And they still struggling. They still can't get back up. We've stayed in the Red West the whole time. We moved into it when I was born, 1960. I'm 63 years old. And
have never left the red.
We never left the red. And I pride myself on that because I said, now, you all don't understand how I'm doing what I'm doing because sometimes my team don't look all that tough, but I'm good enough to stay in there because I look at the kid and say, okay, I'll take this kid and I'll train him. I'll get him where I need him to go. I pick, this place not going to work. This place not, with the group I got, you got to pattern.
Right, you have to alter, kids. You have to adjust. Right.
And see, some of them don't do that. They'll say, we had Derrick Rose, that this was his favorite play. He ain't Derrick. Okay, so you wonder why that play don't work no more. You gotta figure out, like when Ronnie left, certain plays, like when Ronnie got hurt, I took those plays out. Ronnie got hurt on a Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, like the city playoffs started on that Wednesday.
Right.
Monday and Tuesday, I went in the gym and changed all the plays and put them all around Michael Wright in 2 days. We went all the way to the city championship game. I think we lost it by 3. But you lose Mr. Basketball, you still beating people. We still beat the Whitney Youngs and all these people coming through because they thought Ronnie ain't dead no more. Ronnie ain't dead no more.
It's going to be sweet.
I said, no. I said, you changed the game plan. So I changed the game plan. We made it all the way there, and we should have got downstate that year, even without Ronnie. I mean, it was tough. You lose your Mr. Basketball.
It's definitely.
To be able to do that, but it was a good journey and whatnot, and we just changed it and said, you the man now, we're going to do this around you, and it's the way it is.
When you talk about those adjustments that you made, like, I read that you are, I shouldn't say were, and I don't know if you still do play, you were a big-time chess player.
We talking about that yesterday.
Right, and so
playing
chess is a very strategic tactician game.
Exactly.
Did you take some of those chess characteristics into coaching?
I live my life through chess. Like I said, everything that I do is not as simple as it looks on the surface. It's not a simple thing. So a lot of people, especially like I said, these young coaches, I keep looking at them shaking my head saying, y'all ain't figured it out yet? And I just keep laughing. Like I got a guy now who is my manager. He went to the University of Illinois. He was the manager for the University of Illinois, Charles Dent. He now coaches girls teams. So he said, well, if I want to learn how to coach, so I said, first you got to learn how to train. So he sat there beside me, and I was teaching him how to train. I teach him how to train guards, this and that, and big people. Like he'll call me and say, well, I ain't really got the big people stuff down, because you do bigs. Because out of my 11 all-state players, 7 of them are big men. So he was like, I don't know how you do that. And he looking at me, watch, I say everything that Kevin does, all my big guys have done. You can look at tapes on all my big guys, they all got the same moves. Even college coaches like Boeheim came to me and said, who's your big man coach? And I said, I am. He said, what the hell? The University of Illinois coach came to me and said, all your guys got the same footwork. I said, well, duh, they got the same teacher, okay? So I teach them that, and as I teach my guys the moves, because they want me to run a big man camp during the summer. The board has asked me to run a big man camp, because I keep looking. It's a lot of big guys in the city. They don't know how to play.
They don't. Well, not only do they not know how to play, a lot of the game now is getting away from that big man game. And so you look at guards. I was watching a game the other day. Matter of fact, on Saturday at the game we were at.
Yeah.
It was some terrible basketball being played because, first and foremost, the entry pass to the bigs is like it's non-existent. The game has changed so much where kids just want to jack threes. You got the smallest kid on the court who want to drive the lane to draw in all. It's like terrible basketball being played. So the bigs are a lost art. It's like on offense, it's almost like 4-on-5.
Right. Yep. You're right.
95% of the time, offenses is like 4-on-5.
Yes.
They run the stupid horns play out on the open, handing the ball off. They keep doing the same shit over and over again. Meanwhile, the big man done got a 3-second call on him, or waiting for the ball, or he's completely. More importantly, the big man is completely disengaged from what's even going. He has no interest.
Yeah. So it's funny that you say that, because the reason I was there at the games, I was watching the girls' teams play.
Which is far better.
And beyond athletics, that's Charles. That's the coach of Beyond Athletics. That's one who I would train how to play. I train his girls.
Got you.
So he'll call me up and say, man, we'll be in the gym 9:30 on Sunday. I'm there. He had a gym full of girls. Wherever he's at, they're packed. I've never seen a gym full of nothing but girls, and they're getting at it. And he's conditioning them. They're running sprints. They're doing suicides. They're doing everything.
They want it more.
They want it more. And I said, that's sad. They say when they go to make free throws, they make the majority of free throws, but the guys act like free throws not part of the game. You know, I tell the tall girls, I say, let me explain something to you. You're tall, but you're not big. And they look at me like the one girl we got, JoJo. She about 6'1", and she 8th grader.
We just saw her.
Yeah.
She nice.
Yeah. Look, when I got her,
shout out to JoJo. She is nice.
Charles said, Wolf, I want you to train JoJo. I said, is she young now? That was last year. She was in 7th grade. And I said, it's not a problem. And then I went over to the gym, because Charles works at a party. So I went over to the gym, and I started laughing. You know, she was getting ready and everything. And I said, Charles, I'm going to tell you something. I said, Sudden, am I wrong? That girl's all state, and she don't even know it.
So I read that you said that. I read that you said that you could look at a player and tell whether they all state or all city.
Yeah, that was funny, because Rashawn Stimmage played for DePaul. He started and played for DePaul. And I told him when he came in, all he did was they won the elementary school championship, but he wasn't a factor. You know, they had these guards that were really nice, and everybody was chasing these guards around. Nobody wanted him. So I look, I'm sitting there watching the games. Everybody's around this kid. Can I get your number? Can you know, And this kid, he's sitting around. Even his little cousin played for Morgan Park, and they want to sit in with that. And he's like sitting around. I said, man, what school you talking about going to? He said, I don't know. I said, let me get your mama number. I dare do something with you. So I told him, I said, don't worry about it, I got you. And he was like, who the fuck? They said, that's Wolf. And he was like, I heard of him, you know. I told him, I said, he started playing. He fouled out almost every game his freshman year, because all he could do is rebound and block shots. All he do is pump fake, he gone.
He going up.
Yeah, right. He kept fouling out. I told him, don't worry about it, big fella. I said, next year you won't foul out of the games. I said, by your junior year, I have you putting the ball on the ground. And I said, by your senior year, you should have a total package. I have you shooting everything. And I said, just do what I tell you to do. So he said, all right. That boy, his first game of his senior year, he was 6 for 7 from the 3-point line. And he was doing everything, because I tell my bigs, you're not big. I told Kevin, you're not big. He's 7 foot tall. I'm saying, you're not big, you're just tall. So I allow you to do
what guards
with
do.
The ball, and I got that from Rasheed Wallace the year before.
So is it safe to say that you were part of the pioneer of, obviously the Europeans want to take credit for a lot of the big man with the dribble and the blah, blah, blah. But is it safe to say that you are the pioneer of the big man being able to dribble in the open court?
Without a doubt, especially in the public league.
Okay.
Especially because who's going to let their 7-footer dribble
the ball up, right.
and shoot a three.
And you know, coming up, like especially when the kids are playing basketball in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, usually the automatic is the tallest kid plays the center
right away.
Like, you're the tallest kid, so you play the center.
Look, I saw Kevin. First of all, I saw Rasheed Wallace the year before.
Shout out to Rasheed Wallace, Philly native.
So when I was I'm watching, because I'm teaching classes. Now I would go to the classes in the morning, the games in the afternoon and the evening. So I come to the game. I say, they ask me, Teach, you coming to the game? Joe Smith. Joe Smith said, you come to the game, teach? I said, man, yeah, I want to see if y'all can play. He said, oh, I can play. I said, you ain't look like you can play. You know, y'all just got y'all down here. I'm having fun with it.
Right.
You ain't look like you can play. So, all right, you make sure you show up. So first thing I see when I go down there, I look up, this guy blocks somebody's shot, 7-footer. Bring the ball down. Well, he was like 6'11", whatever, He bring the ball down. He just went up and he dunked on these guys. Boom. I said, how tall is he? They were like 6'11". I said, that's not possible. He just took the ball from one
coast
end
to coast, yep.
to the other end and just dribbled through like it was cones and just dunked the ball. I said, wow. They said, that's Rasheed Wallace.
From Gratz.
And look, and I'm like, I don't know who Rasheed Wallace. I just know local. Like I'm a Chicago guy. I just know local. That was my first exposure to the national
scene.
So then the next thing I see is Jerry Stackhouse. He come down, boom, boom, boom. He like stepped in somebody's chest. Boom. And I said, oh my God. They said, you don't know who that is? I said, no. They gave me Bob Gibbons' top 100 list. They was top players. I said, oh my God, this is going to get interesting.
Yeah.
So then I'm looking to see where these players rank at, where they are. And, I'm looking. There's some everybody on there, Allen Iverson, Ronnie, all of them, on this list. And I'm like, wow, this is real. This is huge. I knew about Nike camp when it was called ABCD camp, whatever, Then they had the Adidas camp that was rivaling us and whatnot, And I sat there and I watched, and I just said, man, that was the best basketball I had ever seen for my life.
Is basketball just based off of the what you're telling us and what we knew it to be as it relates to rankings and some of the actual evaluators of the game having to do the legwork? Is it watered down now?
I would say so, for sure. For sure. I mean, it's too much politics involved in it.
I definitely know that.
I mean, because, like I said, Ronnie, it was funny. Ronnie got noticed nationally before he was noticed
locally,
like
really?
That. I mean, he got a little shine here, but it wasn't as big as it should have been. When he got blew up in the in the national thing, then they were like, oh, okay. And we look at them like, are y'all stupid? This man, he was a freshman dunking on grown men. Matter of fact, he was an 8th grade dunking on grown men. Stuff he was doing was like legendary stuff.
How different, and I know this is kind of one of those like questions like the obvious answer, but based off of what social media is today,
that's it.
How much more known would Kevin and Mike and Ronnie and even yourself, when you think about some of those coaches, Rob and the Westinghouse teams and how with social media was back then, like how crazy would it been for y'all? Because y'all was a rock stars back then.
It was already crazy. It would have been even crazier.
I can't even imagine,
because everywhere we went, I mean, literally,
the gym was
Chicago. We get in the airport was filled up.
I heard that they had to move a lot of y'all games from the local gyms because people wanted, it was like standing room only.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we went to Columbus, Ohio one year. And when we went there a few times to Columbus. The guy was saying that the guy who would run the event, they kept saying, oh man, you're not going to have Farragut coming up in here because they're playing in the KMX shootout. That's the biggest shootout in St. Louis and whatnot, So why would they leave the KMX shootout and come here? He said, Jerry Watson, he said, Jay Watson, because I asked him, because I'm a simple guy. So I'm not looking for money under the table and all that stuff. You just talk to me. So he's like, man, what if you think I can get you to come out to my shootout and do that? And I said, when is it? And I checked the calendar. I said, yeah, we'll be leaving KMOX, so I guess we can go. And he kept saying, I got Kevin Garnett and Ronnie Fields to come. They said, get out of here, man. They are not coming here. We got off that plane, and the airport was like filled up. They had to see if this man was lying. I came through that thing. He looked and said, what up, Wolf? And they were like, okay. He know the guy, And Kevin came up out of that thing. And they said, oh, my God. So, and then they seen Ronnie with his big smile. What up, man? They said, oh, wow. He said, the team y'all play is playing tonight. when you all put your stuff in the hotel, y'all man coming to that game because I'm trying to sell the game. They came in there with all that blue and gold because they had their Letterman jackets and all their Ferguson stuff. We walked into that place. They looked up. The whole gym just stopped and said, "Oh, it's on. It's on." Man, we killed those guys. And then the guy said, "Well, we want to play them again when Kevin Garnett's not there." So we came. so we came back the next year
and killed them again.
And it was Ronnie and Michael Wright. Beat the man. It was worse. Then I want to play them again. Just Michael Wright.
Killed him again.
They were like, "We don't want to play him no more."
We don't want to play. Three times in the shot.
Yeah, but everywhere we went, it was like that. We traveled with security. I had like one of the players' brother was a police officer. He set his schedule up around us.
Y'all travel.
When we traveled, it was him and he had another guy with him. And they couldn't approach us without going through security. They'd come walking that way, "Hold on now." And they look, they got the badges, the guns there. "Hold on now," you know. They say, "Can I help you?" And they would say, "Wolf, I do want to holler at you." So I said, "I send them through." But we was wherever we went, we made sure we watched. It was like you said, it was like a circus. It was a circus type atmosphere. After the games, they wanted Ronnie Kevin them to sign autographs and take pictures and stuff. And I said they was good. They was good because they signed every autograph, took pictures with whoever this that. They did their thing, and I was like, I don't know if I could do that. They'd lay out tables, and they'd be sitting side by side, signing hats and T-shirts and this, that, and other. And again, it wasn't about the money. Like I said, like with me, it wasn't about the money. It was about the experience and that traveling thing. I mean, we got a chance to really get into that stuff, you know. And they always said, "Hey man, these people paid their money. Let's give them a show. They would never want to disappoint." It was a show. They would say, "Don't leave." Dave Kaplan would say, "Don't leave your seats and whatnot, you know, because you leave your seats, something crazy going to happen." As soon as he say that, Ronnie would go and do some 360 windmill dunk, and I'm like, that's not a basketball. No, he never missed it. I'm
talking about the people that left their seat.
No, yeah, right, exactly. And I heard people saying, "Man, I called off work so I could see this game." And I told them I was sick. And I'm like, these people are seriously, they doing everything because at the time the games were not televised. Like you said, at the time there was no social media.
Right.
So you had to be there to
witness to it.
Right. So I said, if they had that back then, because even our city championship game wasn't televised. It was as many people, it seemed like outside as there was inside.
I saw that grainy video of when Ronnie jumped over the player.
Yeah.
And if you wasn't there to see it, you can only go off of what people told you about it.
And the funny thing about those videos, I actually got the VHSs of that, and nobody had that. Nobody had that. Like when Kevin did his documentary, Kevin came in. Matter of fact, Ronnie did his first. Ronnie did his documentary, and he was like, "Man, I need some game film." Well, I got over 30 years worth of game film.
Damn.
And I said, "All right, I got you, you know, just another," because they know I keep game film. And he looked at it, and I said, "Oh, I got something for you." I go in my safe. It's a special safe. I go in the safe, and I get the game film where he jumped over Sergio McClain. And this guy said,
"Damn.
Man, I didn't know nobody had that." There was a guy under the basket who took the picture. There's a picture of him, like Vince Carter, jumping over the guy with his legs spread and dunking. And then, like 4 or 5 years later, Vince Carter did it in the Olympics. That's what Kevin said. "Man, you stole my boy dunk." He said, "Hey, man, you know, dude wasn't here to do it, man. I had to get that." So I'm laughing. I said, "Okay." I said, "Y'all got the picture. I got something better." "What you got better than that?" I put the VHS in. The guy said, "Oh, can we use that?" I said, "Hey, man, they're my guys. They created the content. I ain't got no problem with that." I said, "He doing his documentary. This got to be part of his documentary." So some years later, in 2000, when he had the All-Star game here, Kevin was doing his documentary. So Kevin called me up, "Yo, what's up, man?" I said, "What up, man?" He said, "Man, I want to do a documentary." I said, "So why you calling me?"
Because he knew you had to go.
He said, "You already know." I said, "Stop playing, man. I ain't got you. Just better stop playing with me, man."
I need some of that.
So look, I gave him every game that he played.
Everyone.
It's like, you know, I'm looking, it was in my storage unit. I'm going, I had the real good stuff in my safe. And I had that in my storage unit. I go in there and get it all out, and I ship it out to him. And man, his people came in to do the documentary, and it was one he didn't have. That was the one where he announced that he was going pro. I said, that's the first person that ever on tape said, like,
right.
Hey, I'm skipping high school.
To go to NBA,
pro.
yeah.
So they said, man, we've been asking all the news media, who might have that. And I started laughing. I said, you asked the wrong person. I said, this thing been sitting in my safe for 25 years.
Damn.
So then when I first got it out, I finna put it in the VCR, and Kevin said, I know you ain't still got no
VCR.
I said,
why you still got a VCR?
Hey. I say, hey, man, chill out, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this,
you
man.
You get that stuff transferred over.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, he did all. He digitized all that stuff, got it digitized and all that stuff. He said, you got C's, you want C's, but I digitized that, so I got the little, little block.
Oh, that's wild.
So look, I push it in, so they like, he run around with the damn VCR, and as soon as it came on, it played like a DVD. It played like real clear, because it'd been in the safe.
Yeah.
And it was like you see an 18-year-old Kevin walking in the room, walking a home run in, and sit down and whatnot, finna do his little thing, and they were like, oh my God. They said, what? And people been trying to get that from me. They like, Coach, can we, emailing me? Can
we
send
use
me?
that? Can you send that?
I'm not sending you nothing. Y'all, I know the game. Y'all trying to, get,
once y'all use it, you can give it to everybody.
Right.
Nah.
So I said, no, we ain't doing that, man. We ain't doing that. But when Kevin and Ronnie asked for it, y'all the ones who created this content. So
it's y'all.
It's y'all. Right. They're like, man, we'll pay for it. You ain't got to pay for nothing. I said,
it's y'all content.
Yeah, that's what's up. They were like, you mean he ain't gonna stick us up? I've never stuck anybody up. I said, I know me and my assistant coach all the time, man, we really was like that.
Yeah, y'all have a gold mine of content just from them two alone.
Yeah.
That you could have retired 15 years ago.
Look, we talk about that all the time because people used to always accuse us of being guys that was making money off this here game, and we giving away
way more
money and whatnot.
So whatever we got was deserved.
Yeah, and I said, I don't, but the guys, they try to get over and stuff. But like I said, Kevin, he forever grateful because he know that when he called me, I'm gonna be there. I know when I call him, he gonna be there. So I said, that's enough for me. They like, do you in touch with him? I said, all my guys, I got their number. I said, am I gonna give it to you? I don't think so. Right. I said, but when I reach out, they reach back. It's not like they big time. You ain't that big time. You can't
call you back. What was those practice battles like between Kevin and Ronnie? Man, that's something that film was probably worth.
Look, you know what? It really wasn't too much between them. They didn't go at each other because
Ronnie said that.
Because they didn't go at each other because my team was not. I never had a team that was super stacked. I had enough to do what I had to do, but I didn't over recruit. I really, literally, for the most part, just took the guys coming in and whatnot. Get a few players, but most of them from the neighborhood. Like Ronnie went to one of the neighborhood schools, okay? I said, KG was the only big player I had that transferred in and changed the game and whatnot. A few other players, but I told them they came in as freshmen and I developed them. What I had to do to keep them sharp, because who's going to guard a 7-footer? They know what 7-footers in the city,
It's not many.
So I would have to go out and get former players. I would go out and get some adults, and they would scrimmage my guys. Guys who play college ball, that type of stuff, semi-pro, and they would be banging Kevin them. They couldn't stop him, but they look up and Duck, hey, watch your head, homie, watch your head. Hey, these dudes ain't playing with y'all because they thinking like they some kids, man. We gonna show them, we gonna put them in their place. No, they different. They different. When Kevin first came in, I took him over to the local park. And I rode through, and they said, man, what's up, man? You got the big guy in the car, man? He said, let him get out. We're not going to hurt him. I said, hurt him? I'm laughing like y'all have no idea.
Right. He might hurt y'all.
Yeah, they said, pull over. I pull over and whatnot, and I said, get out, man. He got up like he was unraveling. He went up, and they looked like this here. And so then I said, go ahead and shoot around a little bit. I just sit back and watch. They see his big 7-footer coming out, bringing the ball out, throwing through his legs, shooting threes, and they like, whoa. I said, I thought so. And I said,
y'all don't want that smoke.
Right. Y'all don't want it. Yeah. I had to find places for him to go, him and Ronnie to go. We go to Kenny King on the weekend, and they would ball out. It would always be Kevin, Michael, and Ronnie. Mm-hmm. I would grab them. We go play ball on Saturdays and whatnot. They'd be playing against Brian Noach and all those guys in college then. Mm-hmm. And it was like, it was
something to see.
So one of the guys who was trash talker was Najee Muhammad.
Okay.
Najee was funny. So he was a guy that was pretty close to Kevin's size. He's about 6'10". And we would go in there and play. They played a long time. Then y'all, let's go, man. I get in the car, go to McDonald's, go chill out. Right, they go hang out over Coach Usher's house and whatnot, and do whatever. Y'all got the rest of the weekend, but I made sure they got them running in with those adults. So we leave the gym, and they kept telling us, every time we come to the gym, they say, man, you lucky, man. Last week, Najee was looking for you. And Kevin said, who is Najee? I said, he ain't nobody, man. He think he wants to smoke. He don't want it. He don't want it. So he kept saying, he keep talking about he was looking for me. So Kevin didn't get a chance to run into him until the Nike we played summer league. So the end of the summer league, and when we played the tournament of champions. So the top 8 teams would finish up the league in September. Okay. So Ashley, my assistant coach, he set up the game, Farragut against Kenwood, first game. I said, man, you petty, man. Why you do that? Yeah, because he had been talking trash all over the city. Yeah, he don't want this. This ain't what he want. This ain't what he want. So I'm like, is he serious? So then, so they finna jump the ball. And then he bend down, he tell Kevin, he say, yeah, big fella, I'm your welcome to Chicago party. So we thought they were playing when they kept saying he had been talking trash. Mm-hmm. He said it right in his face. And Kevin looked at him like, look, what? All right. So they started playing. Talking about embarrass that boy. Najee might have scored a basket. And Kevin would block his shot, bring the ball down, throw it up in the air, Ronnie would catch it. Boom. Then he'd come down again. He's taking the ball. He's showing his handles. He's throwing it out. Lakeith Henderson would catch it. Boom, because they had a bunch of high jumpers. They out there just jumping all over the place. And man, when the game was over, he was so defeated. He looked up, and Kevin said, big fella, make sure before you talk trash to somebody, you see him play. Because that was never going to happen. He told me, I'm your welcome to Chicago party. When Kevin told me that, I started crying. I said, that's why you did him like that? The boy would shoot. Kevin would pin it on the backboard. and just look at him. You really thought you was going to get that over me? Because he had everything. I mean, he was real versatile. He had hops. He could jump out the gym. He did everything. And I'm like, that move ain't going to work. It worked against guys smaller than you.
Kevin definitely was. He definitely in high school, and even throughout his career in the NBA, it was definitely like just an anomaly. He was
when I said that he finna go from high school to the league, they told me I was crazy. They said Shaq gonna kill him. I said, are you stupid? Kevin's a small forward. Shaq gonna have to come out here and get something. Mm-hmm. I said, you right. His body is too thin. Shaq will bang him, but he ain't got to endure that because he could face up.
Yeah. And drive right past him.
Yeah, right. I told him that. I said, he's not a big man. He's tall. Mm-hmm. So he can catch it, face up. Yep. And if you don't come out here, I'm going to shoot it. If you come out here, I'm going to run past you. I said, that's a problem. And in his whole rookie year, I was just sitting there smiling.
Yeah, because he tore the league up.
Because they kept saying, oh, he ain't going to do that in the league. He ain't going to do that in the league.
And went and did exactly that.
I said, are you serious? Like they kept saying about Quentin Richardson from Simeon. I mean, I'm from Whitney Young. Mm-hmm. They kept saying, Q ain't going to be able to do that because he was a undersized forward. Mm-hmm. And he was bullying people, getting rebounds. Same stuff he doing at DePaul. Same stuff he doing at Whitney Young. Yep. They said, he ain't going to be able to do that. He ain't going to be able to.
Went right to the league and did just that.
Yep, he did that. He didn't change his game at all. That's who he was, and that's who he continued to be. Yeah. Same thing with Kevin. That's who he was. Like that bully that he was that bully that he was throughout. And he never changed. And I just said, well, I could see that coming. I mean, I seen it coming because like you said, from the time I saw him, I looked at him and said,
he's going to be special.
Yeah, and I told him, he said, well, his coach in South Carolina wouldn't let him do all that. And I said, I don't see dude. Yeah. I said, hey, you playing for me now. Yeah. If you don't do that,
it's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. He said, all right. okay. So he started doing it. Even in the McDonald's game, I was sitting right behind the bench. And he's playing lights out. Man, he got the ball on 3-point line, and it was like I felt like I was still coaching him. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Shoot the ball." Kevin took the ball, shot it, pow, 3. And he's like, "What the heck? This man shooting threes and everything." And I told him, every time you play, it was like a press row of coaches, like NBA coaches. You had the regular fans, and then some place they had tables with none but NBA coaches. Other gyms, I could walk in the gym and I can say, okay, yeah, he from Detroit, he from Philly. I can point them out. You can't hide. I see y'all. I told Kevin, every time you play, show everything. Show everything. That's why I told them, don't be a traditional, because they don't know what you can do unless you show them. That's why I allowed them.
Because they'll put you in that box.
Yeah, I allowed them to open up. I said, I'm not going to let you just turn your back to the basket. I said, man.
Basketball is about mismatches and taking advantage of them. And Kevin was a walking mismatch.
Right, exactly.
Up until the day he retired.
Exactly. And even with Ronnie, they couldn't stop Ronnie because Ronnie's scoring average went up every year. 16, 20, 25, 26, 32. Like every year went up. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop him in elementary school. They're not going to stop him now. I'm laughing. So Ronnie started working on his jump shot. And I told Ronnie, I said, hey, man, no, we're not doing that because he had like 40, 50 points. He just still be shooting that. I said, I'm going to give you a rule. I said, to this day, I call it the Ronnie Fields rule. You can shoot as many threes as you want to shoot. But once you miss 3, you can't shoot no more.
Can't shoot no more.
So I said, because they can't stop you.
Get to the basket.
His field goal percentage was like nasty because he was jumping over them and just dropping
it in the bucket.
So that's why we won so many games. It's like, what they going to do? What they going to do? So,
and if they're not adjusting to it, just keep doing it.
Right. So I said, you can go to the basket every time. They're not going to stop you. You just floating over them. Like, he'd grab a rebound. The big guy try to get a rebound. Ronnie grab a rebound and keep going up. And they'd be like,
looking for the ball.
Ducking on their head. So I said, okay, that's it. So when he stopped playing, he'll miss one. I'll say,
2 more.
I'll do this. I'll say, that's 1. And Ryan look at me and start laughing. So he'll miss a second, but I say, that's 2. So, I mean, literally, he'll have like 30, 40 points, and I'm still counting. He's like, man, we beating them guys by such and day. That's 3. Hey, so Ronnie like, man, whoop, you tripping, man. Hey, we got a rule, man. You got hey, but the stuff he was doing to people, man, because like when he went inside and started killing, it was like that. Like we went to St. Louis, playing the KMOA shootout, and we were losing to the St. Louis team, Bashan. At halftime, we were losing. Michael Wright with the leading scorer. He had 8 points. I said, how the hell could we, how could we be losing? Now, I got the number 1 player in the country. I got Ronnie, who's the number 1 player in his class, or number 1 and number 2, him and Kobe. I'm like, are you losing? I don't even know them dudes. Man, I came in the locker room, I knocked down the Gatorade thing. I said, man, y'all got to be out y'all damn mind, man. Y'all not embarrassing me like this. So y'all better get it in. They went out there, and if we scored 50 points, Kevin and Ronnie had 48, 46. They tell me in the press conference, that they scored. I said, I know. And your point is? hey, they supposed to. Yeah. I said, before I lose, they can shoot every ball because ain't nobody going to stop them.
Ain't nobody going to stop them.
That's it, please.
Okay, describe your coaching style. How would you describe your coaching style from when you started all the way up until you recently retired?
Well, like I said, I always was a student of the game, so I always was a guy who would go to clinics and stuff, pick up certain ideas. I read books. I still got books right now. And
that's what's missing today.
Yeah,
they don't study, man.
It's funny what I did this year. I gave up the head coaching position, gave it to one of my former players.
Right,
and they were trying to run stuff, and I could look at it on paper and say this is not going to work. And they'd try and they'd be frustrated. I said, you frustrated, but it wasn't supposed to work. I'm looking at that. Like you said, I play chess. I mean, I'm playing chess with the playbook.
Right.
I'm looking like, okay, if they were to run this type of press, how would you break it? If they were to run this type of zone, how could you, what's the best thing you can beat that zone with? If they was to play man-to-man, what's a good set you could do? Now, I don't have a guy who could catch that lob, so what's the next best thing? And I would through drills, I would get those certain shots and get them, sharpen their skills up. These guys don't coach like that. They think that when they play, they was able to do this. They not you. They're not you. So they
coaching like they're playing, instead of coaching their players.
Yep. Yeah, and I tell them that all the time, and I said no. So I went out and I ordered playbooks to my coaches, my assistant coaches, and I said, y'all need to figure out some of the stuff that y'all might want to do with the particular group y'all have. And these guys need to go through drills. These guys have never really learned how to play this game. They think they know how to play. Mm-hmm. I said, but they can't play. I said, that's something that I did from the beginning. The first coach I coached with was Charles Capps. And he was a great player. He played for Tennessee. He played for Crane High School. He was an All-American. He played 4 years of varsity. He was a great player, but he was not a good coach. Everybody that plays the game cannot necessarily coach the game. Mm-hmm. You assume they can. Like Michael Jordan's kids didn't play like Michael Jordan.
At all.
Michael Jordan didn't teach them. They just play basketball. They just happen to be his kids. Mm-hmm. But I say, you know what? I say, in order for you to continue to have success, you have to have drill work. So I come in, and I'm like, okay, we start from the beginning. I teach you how to play. I teach you how to shoot. I teach you how to play offense. I teach you how to play defense. I teach you how to handle the ball. You may not have ever been able to handle the ball before. I teach you how to handle the ball because I was a point guard. I teach you how to read the floor. Just don't just bring the ball down. Then when you get across there, now you got. Once you get there, now you think about what else. No, you've been thinking about that a long time ago.
Well,
before I got to that point, I already knew
where I need to be,
where I was going to be. I didn't run to the corner to get trapped.
2 or 3, you need to know first, second, and third read.
Exactly. And see, they don't. And now they understand it. Even those girls that was playing this weekend, I would talk to them. I said, read the flow, and they come across. Before they come across half court, they kind of got in there. They see that trap coming, But you got if you don't explain to them, you got to look for it before it gets there. When it gets there, now they in panic mode. Yeah. I said no. I said the plays that I got, they're proven. I said I watch other coaches and watch what makes them successful, and I mimic that. I said we all steal from each other. So I say all that game from I got, that's the dual purpose for it. I say you run some sweet. I say, oh, that's nice. I say that's nice. Hey, you come back next year, I'm running on you and see how you stop it. Because I still run a play to this day that Bob Hamrick introduced me to. We call it Kentucky. It's his passing game. They at the Bob knew called the mix master. They pass the ball. It's like the Harlem Globetrotters. You're going around the circle. They stall game. I run that to this day. And I run it against Simeon. I run it against Whitney Young because Whitney Young coaches Coach Simeon. And like I can run just as well as you can run it. I mean, it's just about execution. Because I tell you, if it's a good play, I'll give you the playbook. I'll tell you what the play is. If they're executing it properly, then it don't matter. Just the smallest, you out of place. We gonna get that in. So people watch my game film. I used to play against Nutri all the time. Nutri coach Rick Malnati. Rick had game film of. Man, he had a big library of game film. Same thing. He was getting plays. He was running his stuff. He knew you better than you knew yourself. So every time we run a play, they'll call. They run in circles. They knew what y'all was doing. But like I said, it don't matter. Execute the play. Execute the play. And I said that was the most fun I've had. It was like a chess game. I know you know what I'm going to do.
You still got to stop it.
Yeah, right. Because the first coach I coached for, he would tell me, no, see, Wolf, they can go out there and play 2-3 zone, but I don't want them to really play defense because they know the play. So they're just going to stand there. Well, you could just put 5 chairs out there then. That play is not going to work in real life because these people are moving and they're trying to stop you from doing what you're doing. Right. You need to know what the second option is. Okay, you're not going to let me do this, then I'm going to do that. Okay, you're not going to let me do it. I got to know what the counters are. I say, when I play basketball, this is what I did. And I might set you up and make you think I'm going that way. Just so I can cross you over
and go the other way
and get in there. I see my big man open when I got to get a good angle before I can hit him. And I said, so part of when I played, part of when I was out there on the floor playing, and I'm watching the court, and me watching other coaches and what made them successful and how I can make it even better, I was always tweaking that. Like you could beat the brakes off me one game, like in the Red West, in the public league, we used to play each other twice. First half of the season, second half of the season. So the first half said, you might beat the brakes off me.
I'm going to get you back.
Yeah, because I got my game film. And I see what worked and what didn't work. And I said, we're not doing that no more. that didn't work. So I make adjustments. These young coaches don't make adjustments. They don't even have game film. They got 10 coaches sitting on the bench and nobody's keeping stats.
Well, not only do
that's weird.
That's
weird.
That's a whole nother.
That's weird.
That's a whole nother thing.
Weird.
10, 15 coaches,
and nobody
don't know how to coach,
right?
Or taking stats, or keeping track.
What's your purpose?
They don't know who the hot man is, what the percentages are.
You ain't gave me
Don't even get me started. You mentioned something, the adjustments, right? I just saw a recent podcast with LeBron and JJ Redick. They got a new podcast right now, and LeBron was talking about how frustrating it is for him because he's a very intelligent player where the players today, they can't even run the same play on the opposite side of the court.
Oh, my God. And they getting paid?
He said even at the professional level, like he said he was on teams where a coach would call the same play to the opposite side and they'd be lost. They'd be completely lost.
See, I believe in drill work. I believe in, like you said, whatever you're doing, you left, you're doing it right. Like I teach, like our girls team. Me and the girls coach never really got along because, again, he's one of those guys that was kind of, he ain't all that, but you never played the game. He's a football player. Just happened to be, somebody there.
Right.
So
we need a body to coach.
Right, exactly. So his girls he's been coaching for 18 years, don't have 100 wins. And then he's trying to, they made him an athletic director.
He's been coaching for 18 years and don't have 100 wins?
No. And then, look, and then my principal, look, kissing a lot of behind. So then my principal decided to make him the athletic director.
Oh, shit.
He don't know nothing about sports. So they were constantly trying to undermine
what you were going
and I was like, y'all can't stop who I am. I am who I am. So there was times where I say, you know what, these girls were horrible. So I say, man, give me your girl for like about 15 minutes. So I show them how to shoot right-hand layups. They shoot right-hand layups like they've been shooting them for years. At first they looked, and that's why they just bouncing the ball real smooth with it. And I say, okay, y'all got that. Let's go on the other side. Because whatever you do on the left, right, you should have to be on the left. I go on the left side, they shooting left-hand layups. He like, wow. How'd you do that? I'm like, it's called coaching.
Just a simple
it makes no sense that those girls are that bad. So I told him, I said, that's what I do. I said, and then I go around over the summer, like I run Jabari Parker's camp over the summer. I train kids that even if they can't play, we can work with that. I can work with you and teach you a few things where you be useful. I teach you how to play defense. You can't do nothing else. You should be able to play defense.
At the very least.
It's all in your heart if you want to.
Oh, defense is definitely nothing but effort.
Yeah.
It's nothing but, it takes no skill.
Even if your shot's not falling, you should be able to block somebody.
Yeah, the defense takes no skill. You had talked about, that game that you guys lost against that Thornton team with Ty and Eli and Randall L. What did you learn from that? Because you said you went into that game, you didn't really scout them. What did you learn?
From that point on, I never, ever, ever played a team that I didn't scout. That, like I said, that was a wake-up call. That was my chance right there. I didn't scout them. I didn't have anybody around me that decided that, hey, Wolf, you should scout them.
Right.
So I was a young coach, and I was basically figuring things out for the first time. I had a pretty good team. And I thought that's all you needed to win. But I realized it was much more than just having a good team. If you wanted to reach the promised land, you got to do a lot more work.
Preparation.
Yeah. So I started saying, you know what, it's never going to happen to me again. So again, I would watch this game, watch the game, and if another team is playing again, I learned that from that game. I learned also from playing against New Trier all the time with Malnati. I seen his room, his office. He had tapes and stuff all around the wall. You look. Damn, he's serious about it. That's why he was always real good. And I said,
continue to be.
Yeah. So I said, man, so I knew that I was going to have to step my game up if I was going to be amongst the elite, like them kind of players. So I was doing that. I studied what we did, win, lose, or draw. I studied it and whatnot and try to improve it. I watched the other teams. Like right now, my young coach that I said went to University of Illinois Charles when I coached the girls teams. Every time we play, because I even taught him everything, he's mimicking everything that I do now. So if I tell him, well, I'm going to play against so-and-so the next game, he'll find game film. Because like you said, it's all this social media stuff on YouTube and everything, people posting their game, he'll send me a couple of games of them. So he sent to all the players. And I'll sit back and I'll watch it. I say, so I know who their best player. Before you even start getting hot, I got you. You ain't finna start this stuff.
Put that on me.
Right. So then, but see, these are things that I learned, like you said, from that game. Never again am I gonna walk in and these guys are world class athletes, and you find it out for the first time when you get down 10, 15. You're going like, What happened?
Yeah, you panicking.
Hey, did nobody tell you? So we gonna show you. And I said, hey, shouts out to Rocky, because Rocky Hill them came to my game at least 3 or 4 times. I saw them coming. I knew they were scouting me. I never thought to do the same. It never happened again to me. I would go out, me and my assistant coach would go out, wherever it was, out in the suburbs somewhere, and we'd be in the gym. We watching, and I said, sometimes you just want to send somebody out to scout, but can't nobody scout better than you yourself. I go out there, sometimes if I couldn't get to there, they just send me game film. But if I can get that person, I want to get there and whatnot. Just like Rocky did to me. I want you to know I'm in the gym. Yeah, and they go like, I be like, how you doing? Hey, no, you ain't finna sneak up on me, buddy. We ain't finna do that not another time.
Now, you yourself, you've coached obviously some pretty legendary players. Is there any Chicago legend player throughout your career that you wish you had the opportunity to coach?
All of them.
That's a good answer. Because y'all got some legendary players here.
No, but I had some players like Will Bynum.
Mm-hmm.
Will Bynum actually had. They got him right before school started, and they transferred him in to Crane. Keywan Garris was enrolled at Farragut.
Shout out to Keywan. We just worked with him a few weeks ago.
Keywan Garris was enrolled in Farragut. They one of the coaches at Westside walked into Farragut, got him, and took him over to Westinghouse.
Wow.
It's hilarious.
Wow.
Chrissy. I don't want to mention no names.
Shout out to Coach. He repping now. We see him alive. Right.
That's what I'm doing too.
Right. But it's funny. It's funny. Certain players. I see other players like the big boy Cliff Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
His little brother played for me. No, his older brother played for me. He was his half brother. And they was telling me about Cliff, like, man, we need you, you can go get him, man. You can work with him because you work with big guys. So when I talked to Cliff was like, no, he's talking about going to Marshall or talking about going to Curie. He ended up going to Curie.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with that is Curie they don't know how to develop big guys. They don't have a big man coach.
Mm-hmm.
You're clearly a big man. I can do something with you, whatnot, if that's the way you want to roll. He went that route, I left it alone. Because I don't, once you go to school, I'm not the person that's trying to
sway you back. Yeah.
So you decide to go there, fine. So I would see Drill Oliver, J.O., out there trying to train him. J.O. don't know nothing about training bigs. I'm like, I'm
the big man coach. Right.
So I'm like, okay, and a lot of those players that I didn't get, my guys might be smaller than them, but they dominate. Like Elliot Poole dominated people, Michael Wright dominated people. I didn't get them all, but again, I would go in the gym and just give me one kid, that I want. It could be a gym room full of kids. They'd be running all over chasing these kids. I don't want all of them. They be like, man, why Wolf not coming over here? I don't need you. I could make a you. I can make that big dude over there. Let me get that big dude. And even though he don't think he's that good, I see it. And I be smiling. Like Michael Dunigan was McDonald's All-American.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted Michael Dunigan. It was hilarious. I went to Sonny's All-Star game. Sonny Park had an All-Star game. Jabari's father. He had an All-Star game. So I'm sitting in his gym, and everybody plays games. So these big kids walk around. I thought he was in high school, because I had been hearing about him. Man, Wolf, you need to go check this big guy. So I'm looking at this guy's big as I don't know what. So then Sonny came over, he said, hey, man, you met Mike? I said, no. I said, which one is Mike? Yeah, I said, he's in grammar school. He said, yeah, he's in 8th grade, man. I've been trying to get, his mama to holler at you and whatnot, and this, that, and other. So I'm going to introduce you to his mother. So his mother says to me, she comes over, she said, I've been trying to get in touch with you. I said, that's weird, because I work at the school. I'm the math department chairperson. like,
I'm not hard to find.
Right. I said, I'm not like a lot of coaches that don't even work at the school. She said, but I called up to the school and I asked for Mr. Wolf, and they said, you don't work there. Like the principal. Like my first principal. I said, oh, well, the people in the main office don't know me for basketball. I said, my government name is Nelson. They don't know no Wolf. And she was like, well, how they don't know you and you're the basketball coach? I told you, they know me by my government name. Mm-hmm. I said, well, you've been introduced to that, and I said, well, I want to see, I can take your kid and work with him because bigs of what I do. He said, well, we definitely interested in this, that, and other thing, because I've been trying to figure out where I'm going to send him. And I started laughing. I said, that boy going to be all state. And they said, well, if he don't like to play basketball, all he does is eat jelly beans and play with Pokemon cards. He did not like basketball. He became a McDonald's All-American.
By not liking basketball.
And he did not like that.
Wow.
That's why he's not in the NBA right now. He really didn't like basketball. So he's sitting around here, he's a nice kid. Perfect kid. He was his mama's only child and everything, this, that, and the other. She played for Westinghouse. She didn't care nothing about no Westinghouse. She wanted somebody to work with her kid. Straight A student, good kid. So I'm like, okay, I said, if he does what I asked him to do, he'll be all state. So he played sophomore ball in his freshman year and varsity. He played both. Sophomore coach didn't want to put him in. That was the guy I said that was the girls coach. He was my sophomore coach at the time. He wouldn't even play him. I said, why would you not play somebody? I thought it was my 6, 7.
At the time, he should be on the floor just because of that.
He wouldn't play him. So look, I played him more on the varsity than he played on the front side. And then again, he was with me all the time. So I'm working with him. He getting better and better and better. And it's like, oh my God, because Josh Crittle was the man then. Josh Crittle was the guy everybody was talking about when he came out of 8th grade. He was in the real deal, Lewis Thorpe's rankings. He was the #1 8th grader in Chicago. So I'm like, he all right, but I can make a, like it's the same thing. I'm like, I can make a Josh Crittle. What he's doing, it ain't special. I told him by the time you graduate, you're going to be there. And he was like, all right. By the time he graduated, he was the McDonald's All-American, signed to go to Oregon. And they were like, man, Josh Crittle went to Oregon off his coattail. The AAU coach was like, man, we got to do a package deal. It's going to be Josh Crittle, Matt Humphreys, and I want to send a couple of guys with him. And I'm laughing because they actually ended up playing against each other. Just like KG played against Najee Muhammad. These guys all year, they played in Capital League, we played in Public League. So it was a shootout being played. And they set it up, big man against big man. They played on the same AAU team. So then they were like, yeah, he was calling Mike all day, man, I'm going to kill you in the game today. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to show you. And Mike said, dude, steady texting me, man. What is that? I said, Mike, you just use that for motivation. We played him. Mike absolutely destroyed him. He scored 30-some points and Josh Crittle got a goose egg.
Damn.
And fouled out the game.
Wow.
Man, when he fouled, his fifth foul, because Michael faked him, and he jumped up, he spent around on him and dunked it. They called a three-point play. He said, no. He ran out the gym. I said, wow. Look, I said, where you going? He ran out the gym. He couldn't believe it. He was so embarrassed. And I was like this. That's a shame.
Damn.
I said, he just did your boy like that. He said, Wolf, he shouldn't keep texting my phone.
It definitely get like that sometimes.
Hey, you can't keep talking, man.
And not be able to back it up.
Because I just kept telling Mike, don't even respond, man. Don't you respond in the game?
Yeah, just do the work on in the game.
You respond in the game.
Last couple of questions I got for you. What was your best moment as a coach?
Oof. Wow.
I know you got a plethora to go through.
Oof. Man, I can't. That's a whole lot of years, man.
Yeah. Can you narrow it down to just one?
It was after I finished coaching.
After you finished coaching. Okay.
The whole year that I spent last year, just following Kevin with his stuff that he was getting after he finished playing. I think about all the stuff that was going on then. Like I said, being at that NBA championship game, like he called me the night before the game and said, Wolf, you want to come to the game? Well, this was when I was still coaching. And I was like, are you serious? So he said, yeah, I'm going to have my sister call you up. That's 24 hours. I'm there, and I'm watching them blow out the Lakers. And I'm in the locker room, and we just, wow, this is crazy. They doing the champagne and everything. We went over to Paul Pierce's house, spent the whole night at Paul Pierce's house playing cards and laughing and joking and everything. Then went over to Kevin's house for a while and whatnot, and it was great. Then after that, I'm watching him going to the NBA Hall of Fame. I was at Boston when they retired his number. I did a movie with him and whatnot. We did thing on in New York, red carpet in New York. It was like all these things. And I was sitting beside Isaiah when they retired his number in Boston. First, I was sitting there, and Kevin wasn't there yet. He walks down, and everybody's hollering his name. And I look back. He's walking in with his 2 daughters. They sit down. I feel like a proud father, I'm sitting there. He sits down. And I'm like, he didn't see me because I had a hat on. I don't wear hats. So I had a KG hat on, and I'm sitting behind him. And I said, you enjoying the day? He said, yeah. I said, how you feeling? He said, I'm all right. I said, he never turned around. I said, well, you need to be doing a little bit better than all right. You need to turn around. He said, well, now, you're going to tell me to turn around. He turned around and said, oh, shit. So he told the door, he said, this Wolf, well, now we hugged it out and everything. And I'm still wondering why, because the place was packed. Why the seats empty? Isaiah come in and whatnot. And Kevin like, I want to introduce you. I said, how you going to introduce me to Isaiah? We both from Chicago. I said, we both from the West Side. I mean, I've been knowing Isaiah for years. So we laughing and joking and whatnot. And again, I felt a lot of pride, man. And just to have him, Isaiah explained, he put it down for me. He said, Wolf, you don't realize you're the only person in the world that can say you had a player that went from high school to the pros, got the NBA championship, MVP, Hall of Fame, and got his number retired. Nobody else can say that. Nobody. I never thought about it. I'm just like a regular guy. Look, I'm like a regular guy just sitting there. So when he's doing his speech, before they put his number up, he shouted me out. I want to shout out my coach, Coach Wolf, this, that, and other. I'm just sitting there. I got my phone. I'm geeked up. so Isaiah said, Wolf, he's shouting you out. Wolf, you got to stand up. I'm like, huh? So Isaiah pushed me up one night, and I get up one night. Oh, okay, hey, y'all, yeah. He said, this guy's crazy.
That got to be a great feeling.
And it was like that, man. Obviously, when I first went downstate to feel the pride of being an alumni of a school and being the first coach to take the team downstate, and just to have that moment, to have a team all year that's on top, have everybody talking about you and that, to have an opportunity to be instrumental in him going from high school to the pros, knowing nobody else that actually went from high school to the NBA. You had 2 guys that went from high school to the ABA, but none of them that went to the NBA.
Kevin was, other than Moses Malone, Kevin was like the first.
He was the first to go to the NBA. They went to the ABA.
Right. Got you.
Right. So
no?
Yeah. So
and the guy from New Jersey went to the NBA long before Kevin and long before Moses Malone.
Okay.
So the thing is this, I was to be instrumental in that, like we set up a conversation with him and Bill Willoughby, who actually did it also. We at the school and whatnot, we got in touch with Bill Willoughby, so he can kind of let him know what it would be like, for a kid to even try that. Sat there, had a conversation. I talked to all the NBA coaches that were the lottery coaches. I'm sitting in the lab making tapes for them, duplicating tapes, sending them out when they come to play the Bulls. Since Kevin could not talk to the agents, they say, well, you talk to the agent, you're
ineligible.
Right. So I said, I'm going to be his in between. So I would go down and talk to the agent. They'd meet before the Bulls game, whatever, and I'll be sitting up there talk with them about Kevin. They basically interview me about him. And I come home because Kevin stayed in my building. So I come home and I was, debrief. Well, this is what they say, this another, so they picked such and such, other. It's a good chance you can go here. And I told him for sure, I talked to Isaiah. Isaiah said, you're not getting past him. I think Isaiah picked 7 or something like that. You're not getting past him. So you're definitely a lottery pick if you decide to make this move. So when he told me that, I'm ready to make that move. So I said, okay. So, all right. So I ignored him on purpose. So then he come to me, he say, late on that evening, he say, you hear me, man? I said, I'm gonna make that. I said, all right. He said, stop playing with me, man. So then I said, okay, so I made some phone calls. And figured out how to do it. You know, so I typed out the letter. Only thing I wish I would have kept that letter. That would have been nice.
That's the only keepsake you don't have right now.
Right. Because I literally, on the typewriter, it was look, and I faxed the letter through to the commissioner. I said, "You good to go?" I said, "Ain't no turning back now. Ain't no turning back now." And that's when he started having all this his pre-draft stuff and all that stuff. And it was, like I said, I mean, all those moments were like huge moments. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like, wow, going through that journey with him and then see him from the beginning all the way, the beginning all the way to the end of that. And then see after all that, then Isaiah say, "Well, you're the only guy that could say, yeah, I got went from high school to the pros, NBA championship, NBA MVP, Hall of Fame, got his number retired." And I said, "Oh, wow,
that's a great accomplishment."
Hey, and then to come back to your school and the principal don't even come to your senior night.
Yeah,
that's weird.
That's very weird. That's very
weird.
She
said, "Oh, well, I didn't know it was senior night."
That's very weird.
Whole principal.
Hey, but I got a principal now. He said you're gonna make up for it. So April 26th, he's gonna name the gym after me.
Wow!
What?
Congratulations!
Thanks, man.
That's
Thanks.
absolutely
He said, "Look,
That's dope."
He came in, and after a week's time, he started hearing the stories. He said, "That's weird. You got somebody who's been coaching at the same school for 40 years, graduated from the school, from this community. Everybody's honoring him and whatnot. The city's honoring him. I go into the State Hall of Fame May 4th. I go into the State Hall of Fame. I'm in the city twice, and they like, oh, we didn't know it was senior night." I looked at that lady like, are you serious?
Wow.
Where they do that at?
Man, the hate is so crazy.
Yeah, look. I said, where they do that at?
Wow.
So the man came in, he said, don't worry about it, coach. He said, I'm glad they got it wrong because I'm going to get it right. He said, I'm going to name the gym after you. I said, wow, I never thought about it. You know, like I'm thinking, I did all this for the kids. Not, maybe one day.
They'll never
right. But I started thinking, I said, you've been around this place, because I was a freshman in 74. I said, this is 2024. That's 50 years I've been associated with the place.
Damn.
I said, damn, people can look at me like 50. How old are you? They said, how old are you? I said, I'm older than 50, obviously. So they say, damn. And I said, I'm thinking, and all the alumni like, that's what's up. They said that
it's about time.
Yeah, they said
it's about time.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
You said
man.
that's April 26th?
Yeah, the 26th.
They're
gonna do that. And principal told me, I want you to come in that day and speak to the kids. I told the principal, I got one problem. He said, what? I said, the security guard man said I can't come in the school. I'm not allowed in the school.
Why?
He said that I had to be cleared. Since I retired, I had to be cleared.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
It was hilarious.
They're very
I said, I only coached the team for 40 years. He said,
the security probably ain't even 40.
Like you said, the hate is real.
Yeah, the hate is definitely real.
The man, they sent me an email saying, you're not allowed to be around the kids unless you've been cleared and this, that, and that, and that. I'm like, have you lost your mind?
Definitely weird times we live in.
So I told him, I definitely appreciated that, man. So
that's huge. So you're getting the gym named after you April 26th. You're going into the State Hall of Fame
May the 4th be with me.
All right. Well, before we go, those are definitely great, huge accomplishments. Congratulations to you on a very phenomenal career. I mean, obviously, with retirement comes doing whatever you want to do, and who knows what that is. I know you mentioned you play bingo. I know that's your thing now, big time, right?
Man, bingo.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I come up in there, they be like, one guy told me, he said, this was last week. He told me, I played against Kevin, this, that, and that, some sort of thing, And I looked at the guy, and I said, how old are you? The guy said, I graduated in 79. I said, that make you a year younger than me. you ain't played against Kevin.
Wow.
I said, because when Kevin said I was 34. So ain't no 33-year-old running up and down the floor with that dude.
Not at all.
Yeah, man, for real, man. I used to be there, man. I know where he stayed there. He stayed in my building.
Right.
Hey,
I don't know.
Hey, right. And I'm laughing. I said, well, people going to make their own stories over there. Yeah, you know, he used to be on the west side. I said, I know where he hung out at. I know where he stayed. And I know there's no way you could have played against him because it don't even work.
It don't even add up. The math ain't mathing. And you a math teacher.
Right. Look, my niece looked at me like this here. And then when I asked him, I said, what you say you graduated? He said, I graduated 79. I said, I graduated 78.
Yeah, that math ain't mathing, buddy.
No, man.
That math ain't mathing.
Because I said, there's no way you could have ran down the floor with that boy.
At
I
all.
said, no way.
Nah.
No way.
Nah. The people who was there in his era couldn't even run down that floor.
And I know I wasn't chasing him.
Yeah,
Him or Ronnie.
Definitely.
Hey, I used to play against Ronnie when he was in elementary school. Ronnie got in high school. Come on, Wolf, let's play. I said, I'm not playing you, man. You're not going to embarrass me.
Not even close. Before you go, I'd like you to give yourself a future message. What do you want to tell yourself for the future, to the future Wolf?
To the future me.
To the future you.
When it pertains to what?
Just everything you've accomplished. Like when you see this, what do you want to tell you? Usually I ask the players when they look back on these videos, what do they want to tell their future self? So I guess the same for you. Like, what do you want to tell yourself? I mean, you already in the future, so hopefully you'll be here long enough to see this video at some point later on down the line. So what do you want to tell yourself?
That's a real deep question. Okay, because I've pretty much followed a lot of advice from a lot of different people. So I definitely think that everybody should listen and understand that they can learn something from anybody, no matter what the age. I've done that, and a lot of people dismiss people that are not as successful as they are. But again, you can still learn something from those individuals or not. Even those people that are super successful, you don't have to necessarily take everything that you hear.
Meat and potatoes.
Exactly. You can't do that. You still
take the meat, leave the potatoes.
You got to become who you are through those people that you encounter through the years. And I've had a lot of good people around me, and I've had some bad people around me, and I've learned from them all. And you gotta do whatever you gotta do to survive and be successful. I've been willing to ask a lot of questions to a lot of people. Like before, I remember myself and Landon Cox, we really didn't get along. Before Cox left here, we was best of friends. I still wanted to leave his number out my phone. Like he was old. He was the old school. He was over here. I mean, all those guys, I picked their brains. And Luther Bedford, all those guys, people that were doing what I was doing and were successful at it. I always wanted to be around those people and pick their brains and whatnot and see what part of what they did could I utilize for me to be successful. And I always try to encourage kids to do that. I try to be a good person around people and whatnot, so they can have an example of which way, how they can possibly act. I never smoked, drank, did any of that stuff. They look at me as that role model, and a lot of times I look at my kids now, and the best times of their life was when they was in high school, and they was playing and everything. I try to give them those good experiences, no matter what else is going on in their life. I try to give them that sort of outlet. So I try to be true to that and not ever be a person that is disappointing, to my kids and whatnot, because I want them to look back on these experiences and grow from it. So that would be, they definitely got to pay attention to this around this, take advice from as many people as they possibly can, and utilize it, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. If I see a crackhead, I don't want to be a crackhead. I'm going to learn from that crackhead.
Right.
Okay, what did you do to become a crackhead?
I don't want to do that.
Okay. Hey, you think that, man, I ain't listening to them. No, you might want to listen to them because you might fall in that same trap.
Yep.
You might fall in that same trap because them people coming at you. I keep talking to parents about when their kid get good, all of a sudden you get all these people that come around you when you wonder where they came from.
Yeah, gotta watch that.
I had a parent that just called me up. Said, yeah, man, they try to get my kid to move to Spain. He said, but I remember what you told me. And he said, I see it coming because he's pretty good. But we ain't doing that. I said, yeah, you got to let them know, man. You know, you're not stupid. You see the game. They want control that they don't have. They're trying to get to your kid, and they when they try to talk to you, you ain't trying to hit. So they can isolate the kid. Then they figure that I might have a better chance.
Right.
Yeah. And he was like, no, man. He said, you told me well. I said, yeah. I said, I've seen a lot. I said, I've seen a lot through all these years of coaching because it seems kind of weird that KG was like 29, 30 years ago. You know, it seemed like it was just yesterday. And I said, all them lessons I keep teaching people behind them.
Some of that stuff hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed because I remember we first started talking about street agents. They're out there.
Heck yeah, it's out there.
And like you said, with this social media stuff, that, like you were talking about watering down the game, that really, because people putting themselves on these platforms, like they, you know, I'm like, stop it. You know, kids ask me to sing game film to coaches. I'm like, game film of what? You haven't done anything. You know, I said, let's keep it real, man. They don't want to see highlight tapes. They want to see a game. They want to see what you can actually do.
Yeah, they want to see full game film.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to cut out all the turnovers.
The misses and the turnovers and the bad body language. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
You can doctor it up and make it look real nice.
Yeah, that's what they doing.
Want to see. Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely appreciate you taking some time. It was an honor to meet you. We're looking forward to continuing growing the relationship with you. We'd hope that we can come to your gym naming ceremony. We'd love to be there for that.
No problem.
Congratulations to that, as well as the Hall of Fame to the state. Definitely well deserved. You know, all of you guys that's now on, you know, retiring yourself, and obviously Rob. We have no idea when Slaughter's going to go, but I'm sure he's probably, you know, I'm sure he's looking over the cliff, if you will.
You know,
it's been some. You guys have
right. You're right.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. You guys have definitely held down, at least since I've been here and way before I even got here, have definitely held down the culture of Chicago basketball. And so, as an outsider, but now someone who kind of feels like they're on the inside, you know, let me, you know, be not the first, but at least one of the many to say thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for, and you know, on behalf of all those players that you coach, whether they were KG or somebody that wasn't, I'm sure that they all appreciate and took something from your lessons and tutelage of the game. So thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate that, man. I keep thinking over and over, like I said, Clyde is the one who, Clyde Travis, he's right for the sometimes. He's the one that started me thinking about, you know, when I'm getting to the end. He said, Wolf, you getting to the end now, man. He said, how many wins you guys? I said, I don't know. I just coach games, okay? Right. So then we finally figured it out. I said, I think the 500 game, I had to go back to figure out when I got that 5. I said, this is when I got it then. And I said, there's very few coaches that got to 500. And the guy from the state called me up and said, hey, Wolf, we're going to put you in the Hall of Fame this year. I said, really? I think the plateau was 300. I said, I thought that was waiting for me to retire. He said, no, we just thought you was in already.
Well,
now I said,
better late than never.
Yeah. I said, yeah. At least I saw it before I checked out of here.
Yeah. So now, with that being said, we're going to close out here. We again definitely appreciate you being here. Thank you very much for your time. I want to give the shout outs. Obviously, starting with my two boys, Xavier and Zayden Suleiman, Zay and Ziggy. Want to shout out my guy Bo Harris at AGM Plus. We just broke out the new camera. So definitely want to shout out my guy Tyree Booker of Numerex, Anthony and Grant Leach of SVI, our sponsors. Derek Ellison, National Director, Scouting and Consulting for Mac Irvin, Shot Prep, Example Academy, a.k.a. The Bone Collector. And my partner with my upcoming Chi-Town Showcase Unsigned Senior Showcase, March the 30th, down at 167. We will have 26 unsigned seniors, where I also have 50 college coaches coming out. I have 80 videographers and photographers coming out, that each player will be assigned a videographer and photographer to capture all of their content to be sent out to the coaches.
I love that. And
we will also be feeding the players, and we're not just feeding them Gatorade and Nutri-Grain bars. We actually are having shout out to Jeremy Fears Sr. and his restaurant, Jerk and Soul Food. He'll be catering the event So yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a very good. It's Saturday. Saturday.
Wait, where that gonna be?
Yeah. Oh no, we would love for you to be there. Oh yeah. I'll make sure I will text you all of the information. I expect you to be there.
Hey,
like
Ron,
it's gonna
probably,
be a.
probably in South Side.
Yeah. No, it's downtown. It's downtown. It's downtown. With that being said, we will see you guys on the next episode.